Hello and good evening, everyone. I am glad we are officially live. This is John Ruman. I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy evening to welcome me into your life. So I'm going live now on Instagram as well. So both that'll happen. So hello, everyone on Instagram. And I want to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who has reached out and expressed interest in the upcoming course, and that I am genuinely quite excited to have class on Saturday. So I wanted to go over what is stress, and I get a lot of questions. I keep on talking about the stress response, the emotional aspect of stress, the physiological impact on stress, all of that. So let me tell you what stress is. So stress, for those of you who don't experience this on a regular and consistent basis, is one of two states the biology of the body has. Hey, Ronnie, good to see you. And what happens when your body experiences the fight or flight state is that it has a physiological response. And those of us who have been through stress understand what that physiological response is. And what it is it provides a boost of, it stresses. I'm glad you do, Ronnie. And what it does is it releases a handful of endorphins, but the painful one is cortisol. And what cortisol does is it makes you, it stirs in what's called fight or flight. Hey, Kristen, what's up? Good to see you. Shout out Kristen Alexis in the house. Okay, so what fight or flight does is it pulls all of the blood, which is why you feel your stomach turn when you have that fear state. And what happens is your pupils dilate, your vision narrows, and if you've noticed, you can kind of become shaky. Like you're nervous, your body feels different. And what's happening is your body has a spike of endorphins that freak you out, okay? And when your body is going through this, in the moment, it allows you to be very focused. It allows you to be laser focused, hence the narrowing of vision. It allows you to do things more effectively, more efficiently. And the reason is it's designed to keep you alive. It is not designed to keep you chilling out. The other opposite spectrum of the stress response is something called, in the world of medicine, they call it the rest and digest state. So if you imagine that you are in the wild and you're walking through the woods, and when you're walking through the woods, all of a sudden you hear something, oh my God, and you get scared. And then you see something, or you think you see something, and you run. You're like, oh my God, I got to get out of here. And then when you get out of here, you realize, you're running from something. Maybe it's a bear, maybe it's a tiger, something that is genuinely scary. Could be another tribe going to attack you. Whatever it is, it's not a friend. So you're sprinting from whatever it is. Your heart is pounding. You are scared. You are, adrenaline is coursing through your veins. And then, when you feel you've adequately sprinted through the hillsides, up and down the mountain, and you're in a safe place where you have a good vision of where you are no longer feeling threatened. And at that point, you've probably all been here, you start shaking still. And you're like, oh my God. Good evening, Trevor. How you doing? I'm discussing adrenaline pumping through your veins. And as this adrenaline is pumping through your veins, you shake and you're trying to catch your breath and you just don't feel right, okay? That's fine once in a while. But here's what happens. We drive. I live in Trinidad. Most watching are in Trinidad. And aren't deadlines like that? That's exactly the point. So Ronnie made a great point. Ronnie made the point that what I described of running through the forest, running away from that awful tiger attacking me, or I think it's a tiger attacking me, it just a loud crash and I thought I saw something and I just bolted, that that emotion, that experience will allow you to feel exactly like you do with your deadlines. And that is the crux of our problem in our modern society. Our bodies do not... Hey, Trevor, how you doing, man? Our bodies do not know the difference if we are experiencing stress of running away from some awful creature, or we are running away from whatever, or it's just a flipping deadline. And that is the problem. So the normal way of being, where you would occasionally see and experience the emotion of this high stress, was a uncommon experience, now is the common experience. And here's why it's so bad. Your body has this awful freaking out feeling going through it, and the major hormone that's released is called cortisol. And when cortisol is released, it exists in your system for 27 hours after that moment. So, Ronnie, you talk about your deadline and you feel that stress and you know that pressure and you feel it within you. So when you are done and you've accomplished the deadline, you have accomplished what you needed to do, now you are no longer under stress, you still have this hormone running through your body. And why that's so bad is cortisol gives you inflammation. It increases blood pressure. It increases the chances of diabetes. It increases the chances of any sort of heart disease problem, because what it does is it basically makes the body think it's in a, oh my God, I'm dying existence in that moment. So what happens is when we live in this on a regular, consistent basis, chronic stress, as it's called now, it begins to wear down our system. And your body is not made to have constant stress. It's not made to go through a fight or flight day in and day out. Hey, Live Consciously, good to see you, man. And, well, I'm glad you feel awful. I'm not glad you feel awful, but I'm glad, one, that you are openly mentioning it, because it's important that Ronnie was saying that she feels awful when she is experiencing this high stress. And what that is, again, is your body saying, I need to run away from the tiger. So anyway, so 75% of the reason people go to the doctor is because they are going to the doctor for stress-related issues. 3 out of 4. And then of the 6 major ways we die someday, all of them are linked in a major way to stress. Why? Because we live this in our body on a regular, consistent basis. That's why it's so harmful. So, Adrian, thank you for the laugh, brother. He's just saying he feels no stress listening to you. I'll calm all of you this evening. So, so the challenge is not having stress. So Ronnie, it actually is quite healthy to experience stress. So for example, stress will enable you to grow as a person. It'll enable you, if you lift weights, it'll enable you to lift the heavier weight and to grow muscularly. It allows your body to grow in ways that it's not growing now. The challenge is chronic, and the challenge, if it's not dealt with in a quick and efficient manner, and also if it is handled in such a way that you don't have the huge fight or flight response that makes you feel the way you're feeling. So the experience you have where you feel sick commonly means that the amount of resilience you have for new stresses isn't that great, which is unfortunate you're going through it, but the blessing in the end is that you can actually learn techniques that will increase resilience. So the awful experience you go through and you are feeling this way and it weighs on you and it keeps you up. You notice it keeps you up at night. Not only the way you think, but stresses keep you up at night. Your brain will literally think over and over and over these thoughts, and it makes people feel more and more stressed. You very well may have that situation. Most people sleep poorly because of that. So they gain weight, they sleep poorly, and they have outs in their life, such as alcohol, such as staying out late doing things they See? Doing things that they find as an escape, hoping that it relieves them from stress when it does a little bit but doesn't really hit it at its heart. So what I'm going to offer to you, and Rhonda, you really want to consider doing it this Saturday, is I'm having a workshop, a stress workshop, and it's 90 minutes long. It's in Santa Cruz Green Market, and if you listen to the link on my Instagram, there is several places you can get information on. If you're on Facebook, the live I'm talking to now actually has the info on there. But what it is, it starts at 10:45. It's in Santa Cruz in the Green Markets, and two things I'll do. And one is something called EFT or tapping. It's a technique that will release high levels of stress. So if you're really freaking out, you know where it gives you like, just thinking about it makes you feel like you're shaking. It's that level of stress. It's designed to hit that and drop it quick. I'll teach you that. And then I'll also teach you something which is something called coherence. And what it does is it helps the body to come to an at ease state, to all is well, rest and digest state. And what that will do is help you to feel much more calm and relaxed. And the promise that I make from the client who did it a few weeks ago, he is probably one of the high stress people I've ever met. And he said when he was done, we did it for 10 minutes, which is the length that we do it in the workshop. He felt like he had just started day 1 or 2 of a 2-week vacation, all expenses paid, and that was the emotional feeling he had when he was done doing it. So it's a very powerful experience. But the most beneficial thing that, Ronnie, you may appreciate from it is next time the deadline hits, it won't affect you so much. And here's why it's so bad. When you're running away from the tiger, you don't need to really think that much. You need to just get out of there. But when you are having decisions that need to be made that are more in your brain, these decisions need to have a mind that's clear, and that mind can think in such a way that you don't make stupid decisions. And that is what resilience is. So next time you have the deadline, you're like, I got this. I can do this, this, and this, and it won't bug you so much. And when you get caught in traffic, you won't be as mad. Like, all these things are the benefit. So I would encourage you to check it out. It's $125 if you prepay TT. It's $150 if you pay the day of. And reach out to me on my cell, 744-8555, or again, just reach out on that link, and or just message me here directly, and I would love to see you. So thank you again for checking out the live tonight. I hope you guys have an incredible night. Thank you so much.